Our last particle in lesson 1 is the particle de. And this is probably the most difficult particle that we've learned so far, in my opinion. Of course, it depends from person to person. Some particles might be more difficult for you than others. But de does have two kind of separate meanings, which is what makes the de particle a little bit more difficult than some of the other ones. The two meanings are by means of and at. When I say by means of, I mean that we're using the particle de to show that an object is being used as a tool in order to complete an action. As an example of that, we have densha de iku. Densha means train, and iku means go. And this particle de is showing that we're using the train in order to go. Or the going is being done by train is another weird way of thinking about it. Of course, the natural translation would be I am going by train, using the word by here. But again, it's good to kind of think about it in a few different ways and clearly showing that densha here is a tool. We're using the train in order to go. That's that first meaning of de. De can also be used to mark a location of an action. Here we have Nihon de taberu. So in this case, it would be a little bit weird to say I'm using Japan to eat. So it's not quite the same as this first meaning. Instead, we're using de to mark Nihon as the location of the eating, and our natural translation will be I am going to eat in Japan. Again, in Japan, showing that Japan is the location of the eating. The thing that makes de difficult is that it can be easy to mix up de and ni. We did learn ni in lesson 1, and we used the same example a little bit. We had nihon ni oyogu. We learned the ni particle shows the direction in which a verb is acting, so nihon ni oyogu will translate to I am going to swim to Japan. If we do want to say I'm going to swim in Japan, that's where we would use nihon de oyogu. And I think this is a really good example that you can kind of keep in your head as a way of separating the different meanings, the meanings of de and ni, where ni shows us the direction in which a verb is acting, and de shows us the location that a verb is acting. You could, of course, replace this with a different word. If you wanted to say Nihon de taberu, that means I am going to eat in Japan. If you say Nihon ni taberu, then that means you're going to eat towards Japan, which probably isn't the version of the sentence that you're looking for. So that's how de works. I do have some de practice cards here that can be useful for getting a better visual representation of the particle de. So definitely check those out. It can be good to get a lot of examples, try out these practice problems as well in order to definitely see the different ways of using de.